My name is Adriano. I'm the Innovation Director at the Low Carbon Hub. For those who don't know the Low Carbon Hub, we are a community energy organization. We are actually two separate entities. There is the Low Carbon Hub KIC, a community interest company, and the Low Carbon Hub IPS, which is a community benefit society. The Low Carbon Hub has been going on for nearly 10 years now. We have installed a number of rooftop PV, mainly on schools and some businesses. We developed a hydro. We are based in Oxford and we operate in Oxfordshire. The Low Carbon Hub is now working on 4 different innovation projects. One is an European Regional Development Fund project, which is to catalyze wider innovation in the green sector, in low carbon energy sector. There are 2 projects which are funded by BEIS, one for both on energy efficiency for both domestic and SMEs. And the 4th project is Project Leo, which is Local Energy Oxfordshire, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm going to talk a bit about the objectives of Project Leo, the partners in the consortium, our approach to systemic change, and what we've done so far and the next phase of the trials. Now, this is a short presentation, and which means that I won't be able to go into too much detail, but we will be holding webinars that go into detail into specific areas, and it will be available at our website. You can look it up. It's lowcarbonhub.org. So Project Leo is a consortium of different organizations addressing all different aspects of the transition to zero carbon. It is led by SSEN, which is the DNO for most of Oxfordshire. There is us, the Low Carbon Hub, both universities in Oxford, University of Oxford and Oxford Brookes University, local authorities, the City Council and County Councils. We have a wide range of startups, energy suppliers, tech companies. So it's a very wide range of partners that we felt were required to meet the ambitions of Project Leo. So Project Leo is one of 4 smart network demonstrators funded by Innovate UK through Central Government Industrial Strategy Challenge. It is the most wide-ranging of the 4 demonstrators, as it tries to approach the systemic changes required to achieve net zero carbon. So in that sense, we see it as being technology agnostic and includes different forms of generation, storage, demand response, as well as the electrification of heat and transport. Now, a critical part of making this work is the transition from DNO, or distribution network operators, to DSOs, distribution system operators. And that's where Project Leo, which brings the real-life demonstrators, interfaces with Project Transition, which is a NIC project funded through Ofgem, again led by SSEN, and they are doing the high-level definition and specification of what a DSO looks like and its role as a neutral market facilitator. So Transition is setting out the new model of operating or of operation for distribution networks, and Leo is developing the demonstrator project for that model. So what is the role of the Low Carbon Hub? I think it's fair to say that the Low Carbon Hub played quite a major part in convening the consortium, initially working with Oxford University, and then gradually they scope and the number of partners widened to where we are now. So the Low Carbon Hub is developing the majority of the plugin projects, which are the individual demonstrators with different technologies. But beyond technology, we are looking at what it means to have an equitable energy system, so no one is left behind. As part of it, we are looking into new business models for community energy that includes not only how to operate, but also new ways of deploying capital for community energy. We are also developing what I would refer as a utility-grade software platform. We call it the People's Power Station. Could be referred to as a virtual power plant that will enable visibility, control, and integration of distributed energy resources into fully automated market platforms. So the approach taken by Project LEO and by the consortium is one of addressing the systemic changes required for the transition to zero carbon. And to do so, we need to address different aspects of innovation that go well beyond just the technical aspects. I think it's kind of the way we are doing it. We have adopted a lean ecosystem transition process, which is proving to be very quick to adapt and incorporate the learning as we go along developing these trials. And in this point, I wanted to emphasize the value brought by the universities in providing these robust frameworks for innovation. So what does it actually mean on the ground? So we have some examples of individual pieces of innovation being developed. So I would say that individually, they might not be that new. It is the joined up approach that we are taking that we consider to be the most innovative part of Project LEO. So we have, from the development of these end-to-end automated market participation tools, we have DSO procured flexibility services such as constraint management, peak management, DSO facilitated peer-to-peer services like capacity trading and offsetting. We are developing new forms of local PPAs with a lot of emphasis in the value of locality. We are developing investment models combining community investment with institutional investors. We are linking that into a comprehensive local strategy plan. Oxfordshire has a plan to build 100,000 new homes in the next 10 years or so. And so we are linking that, the infrastructure development with the energy plan. And moving on, into the next 2 years of LEO, we will be integrating all these different cogs in the system and start bringing them all together. And the main focus for us will be the development of a set of trials that we refer to as the Smart and Fair Neighbourhood trials. So the Smart and Fair Neighbourhood trials is a demonstration of what the community energy scenario described by the future energy scenarios look like on the ground. So the National Grid and the ESO, in their work in the future energy scenarios, have shown that it is possible with a decentralized model to achieve zero carbon. So now we are trying to implement it and demonstrate how it could be done. It is now a key part of Project Leo, as it is the means by which we bring together all aspects of innovation that we are trying to address. For the Low Carbon Hub in particular, the main focus is to ensure that whatever we do is equitable and accessible. Again, we are using a model developed by the University of Oxford, for each trial zone, and we have 8 identified trial zones in Oxfordshire, we will have an anchor load or generation, and we will create clusters of domestic and business energy users around it. And then we will be creating the technical, economical, commercial, finance, social, all these different aspects of innovation to develop these smart and fair neighborhoods. Now, the way we are going about designing these trials is, again, focusing on how we can create the environment or the ecosystem to allow this decentralized model to flourish. It is for us a way to demonstrate and to satisfy all the 3 legs of the energy trilemma: a system that is reliable, sustainable, and equitable. And again, a point about being equitable. I think this term has been hijacked or oversimplified and is often referred to as affordability, which we believe to be very narrow. And it is more than being just affordable. It is about equity and accessibility. So 10 years ago, or around that time, people in the community around Oxford started asking the question on how to replace Didcot Power Station with a zero carbon equivalent. It was clear to the people around the table that to do so, it had to be a combination of energy efficiency and renewable generation. Now, the power station that you can see is no longer there. Didcot coal-fired power station is no longer. It's being decommissioned and demolished. So now we just need to replace it. So before Leo started, we literally went back to the drawing board. And I'm not joking. The blackboard on the screen is a natural drawing on when we were trying to identify all the different aspects of the system that we needed to be working on or with, and to meet the objective that we had set. It was not only technology, but we needed a different system or a different ecosystem altogether. Now we have that opportunity to try, to test, to adapt, to learn, and create a virtuous cycle of change. And again, with people and communities at the heart of it. It is very exciting for us and quite a unique opportunity for community energy as a whole to be part of this project. We've been discussing it amongst ourselves that Project Leo is the beginning, and we are already at least setting our sights, or even some early steps of planning the next phases of Leo 2, 3, and so on, which will go for at least the next 10 years. So it's work in progress. We've made some pretty amazing, we've taken some pretty amazing steps that we are all very pleased with, but there is a lot of work to be done. And in the spirit of community energy, the way we are approaching it is that whatever we develop, we will eventually be sharing with community energy all over the place. Now, once again, if you are interested to look into more details into the different areas and aspects of Leo, please look it up at for our webinars in our website, lowcarbonhub.org. And let's meet on. Thank you very much.